Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I'm going to do another fish room tour. It's been a few months now. Want to walk through all my tanks, to do a little walk around right now. I have some 55s, some 10s, 29s, some 40 breeders, some more 10s there, and then some 20 longs. I also have a 20-gallon planted tank next to my wall tank, which is a 55. And I'm going to do a quick walkthrough, then I'll go back and kind of highlight some things. This tank obviously is better from the other side, but got some large angelfish in there. I'm treating their fins a little bit, but I haven't lost a single one. I've had these since babies. Very good eaters, always active. Down in the 20 high, I have 2 pairs of germ blue rams. I did a video on these guys just recently. And the second pair did end up spawning in this front corner. I just scraped the eggs off the bottom and put them into a tumble. So, see, there's a younger male right there. Got those light blues. Got females chasing them away, older female I should say. And her male's over here. Bit of a glare, but you can still see a lot of their color. And this is primarily all moss growing. I actually have a floating moss ball. It's kind of cool. I made that myself. It's inside of a ping pong ball, and I used aquarium safe glue and glued on there, and it's grown quite a bit. It's starting to get thin in the middle. You almost see the white, but it's still pretty cool. It's different. I got some, I think it's jungle veil, or I forget the name of the plant. I'm drawing a blank, but that's the miniature version of that. It's pretty low light. Got a couple bunches in there growing. Then we'll go to the 20 longs. I got some, just like standard, like orange or red platies. Had these a long time, took a while for them to breed. I got some babies in there. Some acrylic yarn mops. I use that in a lot of my tanks for babies to hide, and it grows beneficial bacteria. Good for the aquariums, pretty simple setup. Got extra air still in there for oxygen, and I got a sponge filter for the biological filtration. In here, go to focus, I got some probably 2 to 3 month old germ blue rams. I'm ready to sell my other ones out of the 55 and move these guys up there. They always had a growth spurt when they get that bigger tank, cleaner water. A lot of glare on these, but you can see them. Keep going down. Here I have some fancy guppies. These are kind of my own creation. Over time I've been trying to get really nice females with more coloration. She's okay. She looked a lot nicer when she isn't always getting chased by the male, but they got maybe 2 generations of babies in here. She's had maybe 20 or so, maybe 30 fry just last weekend. And that male I think is super cool. He's got so much color to him, nice fin. Usually when you get these cobra patterns, you kind of make them yourself. The fins will never square off like a delta. It takes a lot of generations of select breeding, but I love that fish. He's really cool. Down here I have some Bristlenose plecos breeding. Just standard. There's a couple of long fins right up front. There's one. I didn't think I had many in here, but still a long fin. There's one of the parents on the side. Some fancy guppies. Probably gonna let these fry grow out and probably replace this pair. It's got some nice fins, but I have some other guppies growing out there. A little bit nicer, I think. Really trying to minimize my species of guppies into maybe 3 or 4 of my favorites instead of 8 or 10 that are just average because you can't focus on them. These guys need treated. I can see they got some stuff on their fins. Just that one female did. This one looks good though. You can see she's got a lot of the color for a female. Same with that one. Over here I got some more Bristlenose plecos breeding. See some young fry on the flower pot. They breed in there. All I do is ceramic pot, drill a hole in it. There's some baby guppies too. Real little guy. But sorry, a ceramic pot. I drill a hole in the side. If I can see it, and I put like the plate you rest them in, I set it on top of the lid. That way I can check in on them. They stay clean. They have a place to hide, but it's easy to access without losing all the fry. There's some guppies in here. bottom tanks, unfortunately, don't get as much supervision. That one male that just showed probably needs moved out and to put a nicer male in here because he's getting kind of like a bloat, but it's never perfect. Always working on it, but there's a lot of plecos in here. Up here I got some mollies. These guys have not given me any fry yet. I'm sure they're having babies and they're eating them. But I had some females breed a long time ago, and these are the babies that I grew out. So some really nice fins on a few of these. And I have another molly tank above. There's a male there that I'm focusing more on trying to get some fry. Some baby plecos. There's no breeding pairs in here. I caught these off the bottom of the tank when they were eggs because they didn't stay in the cave. And I tumbled them, hatched them, and then I put them in there to grow out. Up here, I'm having a little experiment with the mollies. I actually learned this from a friend of mine who has a lot of success breeding mollies, seeing if it worked for me. The fish all seem kind of stressed. I did this a couple days ago. But basically, I have containers or breeding nets, and at the bottom, I put a netting or like a pond mesh, and I glue it to the bottom. That way, if they have the fry, they'll drop right through. Parents can't eat them. And then hopefully I'll have a bunch of fry in here in the next week or so. Because those females are definitely pregnant when I put them in, but no babies yet. And something I'm really excited about, I have some super red bristlenose plecos. So there's the male. I grew these out from maybe an inch long. I got, I think, 8 of them. And I grew them out. I put a male and female in here. And I finally got some babies. I can find some. There's one there. Having trouble focusing on some of these today. Probably because it's a little bit darker and there's a lot of glare. But you can see there's one in there. It's hard to see. There he is. Once I put some food in there, they'll all swarm to the food. There's a few of them. They're all spread out. But very excited to be breeding those. Hopefully I can replace a lot of my other pleco strains with more of the reds. I don't want to dilute the strain. I have too many of them, but you can never have enough of those guys. I think they're very cool. Up here I have a pair of angelfish. I have babies from these guys. They spawn pretty frequently. I don't always pull the eggs because angelfish are not my go-to fish to breed because they will flood a fish room in a hurry, but they're very cool. He's actually got our tube dropping very fat. I'm sure they'll spawn tonight actually, which is funny. They just spawned like a week ago. I believe that's the female. Actually, I kind of forget. They're both very fat. I just fed them though too, actually. That's probably, I just fed them maybe 10 minutes ago. Here I have some discus in here. I don't know if they ever breed for me, if they're actually a pair. They actually just fought the other day. There was a little cut on that one's fins. Their fins were perfect for months and months, but very cool fish. I did a highlight video on these guys. I had a flashlight on them. Very cool colors on these guys. I mean, they're big. I mean, see next to my hand. It actually doesn't do them justice because they're in the back of the tank, but they're probably a good 5-6 inches. I mean, they're big discus. You see a 20-gallon long. They're about half the height of that tank. They get a lot of water changes. I do find in there, but just them too. In here, I have some German blue rams. I think they're about to breed because this male, when I came in, was sitting right in the middle of the tank. Everything else is hiding. So I'm sure there's some aggression going on. Females might not be ready, but not the best shot of them right now. They're all hiding. Usually they're right in the middle of the tank looking for food, so they're a little skittish today. Down here I have some like purple guppies. They're like a purple delta. You can see nice squared off fins. These guys have bred for a few generations and some of their babies are growing out, so I had to go through, catch these, separate them, decide which ones I want to sell, and then put maybe a trio back in here and let them start all over. And then I got some plecos in here I'm growing out. There's no parents in here, just same as the other tank. Caught them out of a tank, left the parents, and they're eating like crazy and they're getting big. Definitely big enough to sell. If you find these in a store for sale, I mean, that's a good size Bristlenose pleco that I'd be confident in buying and worth paying the, say it's $10 in a store or so, something like that. I mean, I'm just picking a number. If you get that small pleco, like on paper, technically called a small, that same price, that's a good deal. See, some aren't as big, but ones on the front of the tank on that sponge are pretty big. Down here, some more guppies, kind of a fancy guppy. Another thing I gotta spend some time, go through here and kind of catch these guys, grow out the babies, and then put in another pair in here. You can see they just had a ton of fry though. Probably 3 or 4 days ago, one of the females dropped some fry. A lot of Bristlenose plecos in here as well. They're growing like crazy and breeding in a lot of different tanks. I already do, but I will be posting some of these fish online for sale. So if you're interested in even breeding plecos and you want some adults, they'll be a little more expensive, but if you just want some babies to grow in your tank, maybe one, you can do a group of them. However you want to do the plecos, I will be selling some of the plecos. So you can check out my page. I'll probably put my email at the end of this video. You guys can hit me up, I can text you back, or I can email you. I do ship the plecos. I also ship guppies and the rams. Mainly sell them to fish stores, but definitely like selling it directly to hobbyists as well. Here I have another tank, same strain as before of these guppies. This strain's a little bit darker, and there's some older ones with some nice fins. I mean, this one has a nice looking guppy. Females have some color as well. This strain gets pretty big. I've had some massive females from these guys. And I also have some plecos breeding in here. Very curious to see what they'll turn out to be, because I have some longfin, I have a longfin male in there breeding with these females. So hopefully I'll get some longfins out of this. You can actually see his tail right there sticking out. They gave me some trouble breeding at first, but I think I had to switch up the females, or I had a small male I thought was a female, just rookie mistake, and I didn't look at them for a long time. It turned out to be a couple males, so put some females in there, took out the males. Before you know it, maybe not even a month later, I got some babies. Hopefully some long fins, because I'm getting, not low, but used to have plentiful long fins, which a lot of people like. And I'll be selling those as well. In here is kind of just a red Delta guppy tank, and I have some extra super red Bristlenose plecos. These are out of those 8. Everything else is in here, so I got maybe 6 of those big ones in there. Not eager to sell those, and they won't be cheap, but I might sell those if someone's really looking to breed them and they want to get a big pair right away. Up here is another tank of the German Blue Rams. I've done pairs, I've done group breeding. Right now I'm currently breeding them in a group situation. There's 2 males, maybe 4 females. These guys actually just bred last night and pulled eggs. So they're still guarding the flower pot. I put a new one in there. There's a male female scurried away from the camera. We got a long fin pleco here, looks really nice. I believe it's a female. And she's mixed with a male and a albino female as well. See if I can get some more long fins, just kind of spread them out. I'll put a pot in there if they want to breed. Obviously I let them breed and grow them out. The more food you put in there, the more babies you'll get. If I feed them moderately, they may breed here and there, but they're not really going to produce those high numbers like below in those bottom tanks. Up here I have some plecos growing out, and actually I got some baby guppies. They weren't here just the other day. Some new guppies. Really not focusing much for me today, but sorry about that. So there's some baby guppies. I have one female half black guppy. The half blacks haven't been breeding that much for me because I really haven't given them the opportunity in the tank space to do it. So I just dropped her in here, and she had fried, just must have been in the last few days. There were some big guppies, so she probably had a small batch of babies and they were bigger. So sometimes they'll have a whole bunch and they'll be small. Sometimes they're a little bit bigger when they have them. And there's not as many. Start going a little bit quicker. I don't want this video to be too long. Up here I got same thing, I think one female in here ready to drop. Here I got a pair of longfin. You can see the male, very nice fish. They got some babies. Some more of those purples, they got some babies. See if it's a turn for us. Oh yeah. Down here I have some red deltas. Very nice male and female, a few fry, and you gotta put a mop in there so those babies will make it. And they got 2 or 3. Some small ones back by the sponge hiding, you can see. Yeah, so they're having babies, they're hiding out there till they get big enough to come out. But a mop will help speed that process up and help them out. Here I have the female above with that male. They had babies in here about a month ago. And see the same thing, look, they're about the same size as the ones that are just born, but it was a much bigger group. So they must have had real small babies that are growing slower. Got a bunch of those in there, some plecos growing out. Here I got a group of the half black yellows. And these guys, I'm sure they always have babies, but I'm never getting out of them because there's just too many, they're eating them. That's why I'm splitting them up, smaller groups. Down here I have some blue guppies, same thing, I think they're eating their babies. I had mops in here like crazy. Took them out just to clean the tank and I've left it. I think they got 1 or 2 babies in there. But one of these females definitely likes to eat the babies because they never give them a chance. Cool male though. This is just a pet store, like a superstore blue guppy that I've bred for a few generations and picked my best one. So I didn't buy this from some breeder. I mean, he's not unbelievable, he's a nice fish. And here I have some germ blue rams growing out and a really cool pair of guppies. Actually, look at that female. Wait till she turns. I mean, that's just selective breeding right there. I mean, this is a fish I created. It's probably taken me 2 years to get females like this. And I really got to separate them younger and be able to do more of this, but she's really cool. And the male back here, like I said, with the fins are hard. His fins aren't perfect, but he's a really cool fish if we'll let us see him. I'll let him come up. He's like a cobra, got a lot of blues and yellows. Let's see if I think I'm feeding him. I don't know if he's gonna let me see. You can kind of see. Anyways, he's a really cool fish. Fins are squared off for the most part, like they're rounded, they're not stringy, so I can work with that as long as they're not like angled. So really cool. They have a couple babies, see what happens. In here I think I have some red snake skins. Just got the female. I think the male passed away, but she's definitely pregnant. She'll have more babies. I got some longfin plecos back there. He's on the sponge. Very cool fish. Down here I have some more fancy guppies. I think I got, yeah, you can see them in there. They're nice and big. Same thing, I love these fish, but sometimes they don't throw the best babies because the females are really nice, which is my main goal for a long time. But the males kind of, that's a nice one, but a lot of them just have weird looking fins when they grow out. So I'm probably gonna have to grow out these babies that they have, stop breeding this line and start a new one with all the female babies from this group, and I'll put them in with a red delta, something with better fins. In here I got some of the purple guppy babies. Same thing, they dropped their fry, a whole bunch of them. Took out the female. Here's kind of assorted babies I'm growing out. I'll sell the nicest ones, and then I'm not going to be breeding any of these, but some nice guppies. Over here in the 40, I have, I believe, a yellow half black pair. There's a male over there, and female. They had some babies, they're doing better. See, I've really spread the yellow half blacks out, giving them an opportunity to breed in multiple tanks with a lot more space. Oh look, there's some pleco eggs. Cool. They're supposed to breed in the pot, but I bet there's a lot of females in there. They may have kicked them out. I'll actually net those out and I'll tumble them with an air stone. Not that I need more plecos right now because I have so many of them, but hopefully I can start selling some more online, and you may have a store text you or call you and they're like want 100 of them right away, so you got to have them at the right size. So you got to be growing up these babies, getting them ready. So I will net those out and I'll tumble them. You can see here's one of the females, and I have some long-fin males in here, so some of these babies might be long fins, which would be cool. Up here, a lot of plecos for sale. Growing them out, no parents in here. I got a yellow half black female. She has a few fry in here somewhere. But see, there's one down there. There's probably like 10 of them, but they're all spread out. They go to the top of the water too, because I fed. I know the quality's not great in this video, but trying to do it fast. I think I have 30 or 40 tanks, so just 30 seconds each tank, it adds up. In here I got a lot of red deltas. This is where I pull my breeders from. They kind of colony breed as well. My numbers were super low in these like 3 months ago. I had 1 male left and like 6 females. I put a trio in here and got lucky and got the group going back again. So some real nice red deltas. Had this strain for a year or 2 now. Yeah, I got it from Angels Plus. But some cool fish in there. Come around to this 29 gallon tank. I did a video on this the other day with, I got some really cool spotted plecos in here. Some are just carrying the gene, they're siblings. But you can see back there's one on its head, on its back. Some larger ones, but one of their siblings had a cool spot on them, so I'm keeping them. They have some more yellows to them. Hopefully kind of hets, they carry that gene. I got angelfish obviously growing out. Kind of like a marble, and these are from that pair before I showed you. I got some German blue rams. These are actually a cross from a German blue and a gold ram, so they don't have quite as much color, but I just had to try. They're turning out to look more like German blues, but they're a little bit more faded than what I'd like a standard German blue ram to look like, so not breeding the golds anymore, but still awesome fish. Down here I have Pleco City. There's just a ton of plecos breeding. I mean, look at all, like every wall is just covered in plecos. I took a picture the other day. I'll post it in between here. This whole wall is just covered. Fire pot's covered. I give these guys like 4 algae wafers a day and they're all gone. In there is a parent. Back wall is covered. You can see the mirror. Front glass got them. All the leaves have plecos. And these are getting big enough to start selling. I mean, they're getting big. In here I have a cell tank of guppies, kind of just assorted guppies with some higher end stuff mixed in there. Got a nice big Bristlenose pleco. They've been breeding in here. You can see a baby right there. I don't feed these tanks heavily. I'm not trying to get a whole bunch of them, but they are breeding. I got a proven pair. I mean, I could sell this pair. Yeah, this male is awesome. He's huge. Really nice standard albino. More of a yellow color, not too much of white. Breeds with a common right there. There might be another female in here. I believe there's 2. Nope. Maybe in the pot. He's Gardner. So I mean, I can sell these guys. That'd be cool. Help some other people out. Get some cool fish. Up here I got a 55 gallon angel tank. I mean, I've done highlight videos on this. Very cool. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but I mean, look at these guys all come up to feed. All healthy. Got a couple mollies tossed in here just to open some space up. In here, I'm gonna try to wrap this video up. It's getting kind of long, but I got some more guppies in here. These are, I believe, a blue guppy, which actually be cool. My was female that's like they've eaten their babies. I put one in there and she had babies right away and I took her out. But she was all stressed out, so her color faded. I couldn't see what she was, I forgot. Down here I have pleco, and I think I have a big female waiting to drop. One of the purples. In here I got a few fancy guppies and some plecos. Over here I have a whole bunch of baby German blue rams growing out. And if you guys are still watching this video, I'm always curious if people watch the whole videos. I always like watching fish tours. I don't like hearing too much talking, so I try to go quick. If you're still watching this video, maybe comment in the bottom and just give me some feedback. If you guys are watching all the way through, I appreciate it. And I think I got a lot of fish you guys can look at and ask me questions, maybe learn. And you can teach me stuff too. But keep moving from that. Here's some baby German blue rams. They're like wigglers. They're not yet free swimming. I got some more German blue rams in here. I got some eggs tumbling from that pair that just bred, all rams. Here I have some larger rams. Still small, but ready to go into a tank. Last two tanks over here, I got some of these gold German blue ram hybrids. Yeah, they're more like of a diluted, and they got that orange color, so they don't have any of that black in their face as much. That one right there does, but it's not as common in these. I mean, most of them don't have, I think it's the biggest difference. They don't have that black in their face. Everything's a little washed up. When they color up, it's like a really cool orange color. It's like from the gold. I mean, it's like a goldish orange. Obviously, I don't have any substrate in here or good lighting or plants, which they really go crazy with. I mean, their color will definitely show up nicer. And when you get their numbers smaller, get some females, everything can kind of change. But they're still looking good. I got some baby plecos in there too. And then last tank, a whole bunch of angelfish. Growing these out. I like selling these in groups of like 6 or 10. Obviously, I'll sell 2 or 3 here. Like, I still will, but I think personally, if you're gonna get some angelfish, get a school of them. Same thing with German blue rams. Ironically, the other thing I'll do in smaller numbers is guppies sometimes. Because once they breed, I mean, you have a whole bunch, but you can buy a trio of guppies, that's perfectly fine. But with the angelfish and the rams, I mean, they like to school. You get less aggression when they grow up. If you don't want to breed them, you don't have to. They'll be less aggressive in a big group. I got 12 angelfish in that 55 guy on the wall. Pushing it a little bit, but I mean, if you had canister filter on there, more filtration, water stays very clear, the fish do well, they don't fight as much for breeding. So going to a group, I mean, selling the angelfish too. So quick overview of the tanks, I already showed in the beginning. Got the stands over here I built. The room is heated. I got a Gemco air pump back here, pumping all these tanks besides those 55s in the corner. Got a heater in the wall tank. That's the only tank that has a heater, and everything else is heated by the room. Bottom of the tank stay a little cooler, warmer stays up top, which is why the discus are up there, and the rams are in the middle. Guppies and plecos are on the bottom primarily. So long video, it's almost a half-hour video. One of my longest videos. I never really making this long. So thanks for watching, guys. I mean, I am selling the platies, the guppies, the bristlenose plecos, some angelfish. So anything you like in here, if you like the way I'm breeding my fish and the way I'm keeping them, if you think I can improve on things, you can comment as well. But yeah, you can email me at pittsburghpets16@gmail.com, and I'll respond back to you. It's in my bio, you can check it out. But yeah, a lot of stuff to look at today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching, and you guys have a good one. Thank you.